Yeah, I was like, I'm
I'm
telling
all
Greg,
out
one
of
minute,
sorts tonight.
1 minute, but
Yeah.
I didn't go through my head yet.
Hey
We're
guys,
giving, we're gonna give away.
live on Facebook.
What's up? We're live.
We're live.
All right.
Great
All
job.
right, guys, we are live to 293 of the Shooter's Mindset. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We were still going through some pre-show last-minute prep, even though I was telling Greg, like, let's go. And I wasn't really ready in my head.
Slacker.
Yeah, we got to
Like, okay, let's go. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't
Just-
go.
just- Stop it.
kidding. Yeah. We're going to give away. We got to give away some stuff. That's what I was just about to say before we go live. So we're going to give away some stuff. Stick around for the giveaway announcement. Co-host joining me, Jennifer Seymour. What's going on, Jen?
Hey, everybody.
Greg Cannon's in the house. I didn't even put on my hat here. What's going on, Greg?
Oh man, I should have put on a hat. Look at my hair. Oh gosh.
I have a hat behind me. I could
Yeah.
throw on.
Can I borrow that?
You want the hat? Here,
Yeah.
My hairline keeps going further and further back. I think it's his hats. Maybe I should stop wearing.
The hats are wearing it down.
Yeah. Greg's joining us. Obviously, we already talked about that. And the marketing director of Newbold Targets, Aaron Mahalick's in the house. What's going on, Aaron?
How's it going? Going good.
It's good to have you on here. We did a nice video with you over at the SHOT Show. Jennifer was doing that. Greg was behind the camera, obviously. So that was a good video. I need to go back and watch it. Obviously, I put it up. I think, Greg, do you put that one up? You put that one up, right? I don't know. I don't remember. But
I don't know.
probably.
One of us did.
It's up there. If you want to find
It
out
was there.
more about Newbold Targets, you can check out the Shooter's Mindset on YouTube. Type in Newbold Targets. Our video will pop up somewhere in the search feed. Or you can just stick around right now and learn all about it for episode 293. Show sponsors here, the folks over at DSL Technologies. All right. What? I got that new banner right there behind me. Offer all your support. Yeah. Yeah, I know Jen got one. Greg got one. Jen's obviously in a remote secret location today.
Deployed on secret government missions.
Yeah. So check out GSL Technologies for all your suppressor needs, hunting, tactical, super long range stuff. They got all your suppressor needs down to the pistol, down to the 22. They got what you need over there. Check them out. TheShootersMindset.com. Obviously, keep up with all the Shooters Mindset, our episodes, some stuff about us on there, and some old blogs are up there. And I think that'll do it for show announcements. Obviously, questions, right? If you're watching during the live stream here, get your in the comment section. Just go ahead and plug your questions in. We'll get them out to Aaron throughout the show, and that helps keep the show moving. So we appreciate the live stuff. But for those who are unfamiliar with the Aaron and Newbold Targets, tell us a little bit more about yourself, how you got involved in the industry, and how you got with Newbold.
Yeah. So Newbold is a family business. So my father, my uncle started it with my grandfather. I was 8 years old when they came up with the idea for Newbold Targets. So I like to say, like, I kind of grew up with them, grew up shooting them. They were just always kind of like a staple, right? Hanging in the woods at our house in Maine and stuff like that. And you just like knock the hang tufts around. As I grew up and started to get more into shooting and stuff, you know, I went to college and I like got a couple of different jobs, and I was working at a university, and they were looking for somebody to like get some more marketing ideas out there and do some more advertising and really like roll it out. They could see that like steel targets were kind of becoming like a safety issue on most ranges, and most ranges were taking action against them. And so they were like, we really need to roll these out. People have a real need for them now more than they did, 15 years ago or whatever. And so I was like, I want to stab at it. Like, let me do this. So I got interviewed by like my dad and my uncle. I really thought I was going to walk in there and they'd be like, great, go get him, kid. You got this. We're going to give this one to you. No, it was like a real interview. It's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I had a background in public relations, and I worked for Mercedes-Benz corporate communications. So I came in with some of those ideas and started making connections with people like you and talking to journalists and stuff, and just trying to get like the targets out there and in the hands of people that could like really review them and have fun with them and show their viewers, what they could do. And we really started to see it take off. And we were on the wait list for SHOT Show for a while. And we were so excited to get off 2 years ago and get out there. My dad and my uncle were at SHOT Show like in the 90s, and didn't see a lot of movement with the targets then. And so they kind of like let the booth lapse, and that was it. And then it took us like 4 years to get off the wait list. So it's crazy.
4
so
years
it's been
is
really,
what you can expect to get on a SHOT Show floor then.
yeah, it is unbelievable. I mean, it might be a little better now that they're opening up some more space. But it's tough to get in there, and you really need to every year be like updating your profile and in contact with them and what you're doing and what your sales are, and hey, we're moving here, let us in. But it's great, getting out there and shaking hands with more people. It's been really fun. Previous to that, I was literally shaking hands with people, like begging to get side match space at like East Coast, Steels Challenge Championship and any matches I could get into, right? In IDPA Indoor Nationals, we were like, come on, get our targets in there, anything we could. So it's been really fun to move it, because it means getting out there and getting to shoot with people like you.
There we go. How did Newbold Targets really get its start? I know you were really young. Yeah. But what was the thought process? It's because they had this innovation in the steel targets, that because they were kind of like being outlawed and by ranges because unsafe, and they saw an idea. Yeah.
So in truth, like the family business, the real family business, that began, in the 70s, that my grandfather started, was automation equipment. And so we build machinery and equipment for assembly lines, things like that, right?
Ooh, fun stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. Like things like skateboard wheels, like machines that make skateboard wheels and fun things like that. So we got, the companies you're working with will send you their materials, right? And then we run samples and we'll send them back to them. And sure, we'll cast like whatever their product is. But they would have leftover materials, right? All these crazy, funky, different things. And so you can't just obviously dump chemicals. So they would cast them into cubes, and then we would take them out to the range and shoot them, because why not? So they would take them out to the sand pit and they would shoot them around. And after playing with some of the materials, they were like, hey, we could formulate our own. Like, let's do this. And so they formulated their own polymer and started casting targets and making all these cool funky shapes and different like flexible hinges and swinging targets and knockdown targets and all these different things. And then we're like, let's see if people want these, get them out there. So yeah, it kind of just happened because they had this material and we're like, this stuff's really cool, and realized that it had shoot through properties and you could knock it around and it was safer than a steel target. You could shoot it up close. And we were like, people are going to like these.
And indoors too.
Yeah, now you have, like, we have a dueling tree now. And so now you have a dueling tree that you can shoot indoors. It's really cool to be able to bring a reactive target inside if it's terrible weather or it's cold or rainy or whatever the case is, right?
Yeah, for a little while we did a little local indoor thing. It was like Wednesday nights. Honestly, I miss it. David, if you're listening or watching right now, I miss Wednesday night shoot stuff. And it was mostly paper, but you got to have a little bit of something that moves during a pistol match. So we built like giant boxes to put the steel inside of, just to keep from making a mess inside. And I mean, it was 3 trips into the range to haul the box in pieces, because it was so big that it wouldn't fit through the door, and it was a lot of work. But at least we got to shoot something that moved. So something like this inside would be sweet. Plus, it's light.
Yeah, I run, like I said, like I would run the side matches, or I would bring the targets for an IDPA match or something like that, right? And it's unbelievable that I could stuff an entire plate rack like in a backpack, like the brackets and all, and it weighs like 10 pounds. And I just like go out there and slip the 2x4s. The 2x4s are over my shoulder, slip the whole thing together in like under 90 seconds, and I'm good. And I look next to me, and we go shooting with a great guy in Matt, who owns a company called Empty Clip Targets, and they're steel targets, and we'll be like dragging his stuff out for like 2 hours on carts right? And I'll pull it out of like a Honda Pilot and walk it downrange in a backpack, you know, and I'm done. So yeah, he's constantly like, "Are you for real right now?" Like,
yeah, it's nice when you have something so portable. So one of the things I do, I'm not sure if you've heard of NRL 22. It's basically a precision 22 league. So it's like kind of the precision rifle series, but you know, you're shooting within 100 yards with a 22 rifle. And so our biggest target, I think, is 4 inches. So I have a box that's, you know, yay big or so, and I fit my entire match full of steel into that box that I could pick up and carry. And the second match I was setting up, our USPSA match director was like, "Oh, I'll help you haul some targets out." And I was like, "Okay, well, here's the match in a box."
the whole thing.
Yeah, portability is awesome. I got a lot of steel in the garage for when we go out to practice and stuff, and it's always such a pain.
Yeah, the one thing that we've noticed, like shooting with like new shooters or group, like women who have never shot targets or anything like that we'll bring out to the range for the first time, or we'll run different things like that, is it's super easy to show people how to just like carry it down there and set it up really fast, and also they can stand closer to it. The one thing with new shooters is if you get them out there on a paper or a steel target, so paper, you don't see anything happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they get bored really fast. And steel, they have to stand really far away, and if they've never shot before, they're probably going to have a considerable amount of misses, and that's not fun. Somebody wants to hit the target and see something happen. If we're going to get them back to the range, they need to see something happen, right? Right away. So we can have the shooter within 5 yards of the target. They're knocking it over, they're seeing it swing. It's fun, and it's safe to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been really.
That's really what makes polymer better than steel.
Yeah.
I know when we looked at it at SHOT Show, that was one of the things. It was like, you can shoot it inside. You can shoot it at ranges that aren't allowed to have steel because there's not the ricochet. What other things are advantages to polymer over steel?
Yeah. The other great thing about like our targets, you can leave them outside. Like everything we do, we're trying to eliminate metal fasteners, right? And we're trying to they're portable. Yeah, that's great. But also, like, if you have a home range, you can set these up and leave them outside. They're all weather safe. They're not going to rust out there. The UV light's not going to damage them in any way. They're not going to freeze and shatter when you shoot them. I mean, we shoot them on a frozen lake in Alberta, Canada, at negative 37 degrees, right? So
Negative what?
Negative 37. I did not go to that. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. It was unbelievable. He's like, they're shooting him. They're like, we're going to hit him with like 7.62, 308s, like something big. We want to see him shatter. Yet nothing. Pinhole right through. And that's at a temperature where you would assume that this thing is like hard as a rock, right?
I would assume nobody would be outside.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's pretty. People ask us all the time, what's your temperature range, right? At what temperature can we shoot them? And we're like, all right, well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the only reason they were out for R&D.
Literally the only reason.
That is crazy. We got a couple live shout outs real quick. Kevin from GSL said he made it in and hope everyone's doing well. Excited for tonight's episode. Joey Burgos said, "What's up, Cruz?"
What up?
Mike Bell said, "How late am I?" Mike, you're only about 5 minutes late. You're getting better.
I'm impressed, Mike. You got here.
Round of applause.
Woo, Mike.
David Duran also just got here too. Mo Shaw said, "Hi, Jency."
Hey, Mo. How are you?
David Duran said, "Hi, Jennifer."
Hello.
Randy
Gray wants to know if a 22 will bounce off of them at close ranges.
No, a 22 will go through. I would say 22 long is your best bet. 22 short, it's possible because sometimes they tumble, but that's at a longer distance, that it might bounce back or get stuck in the target. The only thing that really bounces off the target is going to be BBs, pellets. I mean, paintballs are fine, right? They're going to splatter on the targets. That's not a big deal. But really anything moving over 750 feet per second is going to pass through. The only, caveat there, the only time I'd say that's not true is, again, a BB or a pellet, even moving at 1,000 feet per second, isn't going to penetrate the target. It's going to bounce off. But yeah, we're 22 caliber to 50 caliber pistol, 22 to, 7.62 rifle, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 50 cal rifle.
I'm trying to think of the versus polymer versus steel topic here. Obviously, portability is going to be night and day difference. Like Greg said, he gets all his targets. That's always a pain in the butt, moving around steel targets or setting them up because they're obviously really heavy. Weather, of course, because those things kind of get and especially the fixtures that hold them, they get rusted, they get beat, yada yada. However, you're not going to get that audible ding. I'm sure someone can say, "Hey, I want to hear that ding 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 all day when I'm hitting them." So that's probably the only advantage we can see over the steel, maybe.
Yeah. Kevin,
however, they're all reactive.
They are all reactive targets, right? They all knock over, they swing or something. We had Kevin McCloskey tell us that the bad guys don't go ping, and I think we should put that on a t-shirt.
Bad guys don't go ping.
Bad guys don't go ping.
There's no rigging an Instagram video and just having someone like hit a pot to say bing when you shoot a pistol at 100 yards away.
Why not, right?
You actually got to hit the Newbold targets for them to react,
You have to hit them. The one thing I noticed, even when I was a kid, right, was you're shooting like a 223 at 100 yards, right, and you have a spotter next to you. You see, you hit the target, right? And then your spotter yells, hit, right? And then you hear ding. And I was thinking, holy crap, I shot it. I saw it. The spotter saw it. It registered. Then he said hit. And I heard him say hit. And then I heard the ping. So in my opinion, if you're waiting for the ping, you're already too slow. Track your targets and move on.
Try over a mile. You want to talk about a wait.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying only 100 yards.
Seconds.
Yeah.
There's 4 seconds to hit it and then wait for the ping.
And then wait for it. Yeah.
So we talked. So what different, we're talking about all sorts of different kinds of reactions. So what different series of targets do you have? What different kinds of reactions can we look for out of some of them?
Yeah. So our 3 series of targets, I guess you'd say, is the knockdown series, which is, on a pivot base, you knock the target. You hit the target, it knocks down, it stays down. You either manually reset it or we have a reset pull that you can reset 6 at a time. And then we have, and we have hang tough targets, and those are targets that are hanging on flexible strap. They're one piece, so the strap and the target are all the same material. So whether you hit the strap or you hit the target, it doesn't matter. It's still going to pass through and not damage the strap. And those really flip around and swing. They're awesome because you can tell where you hit them. So all of our targets are reactive and they do something when you hit them. But the hang tough targets, they actually react a certain way when you hit them. So if you hit dead center, it swings back straight. And if you hit the corners, it starts to spin, sort of looks like a revolving door. And if you hit the strap, it just kind of vibrates a little bit. So you're off target. You're high. So that's a cool one for actually tracking your hits and knowing where you put the hit. And then we have a series we call the bounce back target. And that's kind of like a static plate because it's mounted down. But when you hit it, it wobbles around, it flips around, and then it returns back stationary a lot quicker than, let's say, a knockdown or a hanging target. So you can land more hits, I guess, quicker, see something happen right away, and then it stops moving for you.
What's the life expectancy of something like that? So we're shooting 308s at it consistently, or rifle calibers. You said they pass through. So how many pass? How can I pepper that up?
Yeah, they pass through. So the rounds pass through, and they just can, the hole basically seals back up, right? So they're self-healing targets. It's unbelievable. The hole left from something like a 223 is virtually undetectable. It seals up that well. The 8-inch plates take well over 1,000 hits with 45 round nose. So they'll take a considerable amount of hits. We have a target that we bring out to shows. I think Jennifer got to see it at SHOT Show, and it's got like 1045s, 1223s, 1009 mil hits on it. And you can see where there are pieces of it that are starting to like finally chunk out of the back. So it'll take a considerable amount of hits. If you're shooting with 22s, you are like probably never going to call us again. We've got a 6-inch plate that's got 20,000 hits on it. There's not a single hole. You can't see light through it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
we got a
it's
couple.
amazing.
We got a couple of good live ones, and Anthony's question kind of hit a couple of them because a lot of people were asking about the deterioration on them. Ray wants to know if all of the targets are the same weather safe material, or if he has to pick a certain series or a certain kind depending on what weather.
No, so they're all exactly the same weather safe material. That goes for our brackets as well. So any of our mounting brackets or accessories are the same deal. Even the ones that fit the 2x4s, the alpha brackets that make the target stand. When we came up with the target stand, you know, you really just can't compete with the cost of a 2x4, right? Even when you're hanging steel, you got a stand that you slip a 2x4 into, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we made a hardware-free bracket that you just slip 2x4s into, and you make essentially like a sawhorse stand kind of thing. That also can be left outside. It's all weather safe. There's no temp range for them. So the same target you'd shoot at -40 degrees, you can shoot at 115 degrees, 125 degrees, you know, who would be out for that? But in any case, but you know, those are the temp ranges that we've tested it at, is, you know, 125 plus. So yeah, you can leave them out in the desert and still shoot them. They'll be fine. You can leave them out in frozen tundra. They'll be fine.
Here's a live question for me. So talking about the target for me, talking about the target, I'm sitting here. I got a lot of good, by the way, audience tonight, you guys are asking really good questions. So keep it up. One thing I noticed when I build a target stand for a steel target is I have to build a target stand that could withstand the force of the bullet that I'm shooting at it. With the bullets passing through these targets, how much lighter duty of a target stand can I get? Do you guys ever have to like stake stuff down or anything with how the targets are made?
Yeah. So here's the cool part, right? So when I used to build stands myself and go to matches to show off the targets before we had the alpha bracket, I noticed one thing was if somebody was shooting open or something like that, if somebody was shooting you know, a 45 and I had it set up for like a, you know, for 22 caliber or something like that, meaning that I had like the adjustment bolts pushed out so that you can change the sensitivity, right, of the target with this balance bolt that's in the front of it. So I'd have it adjusted for a 22 and somebody would come out and whack it with a 45 and all the targets would knock down at the same time. So I'm like, this is a problem, right? So we built that alpha stand to absorb that shock. So what you're talking about isn't an issue anymore as long as you're shooting with that alpha stand. So basically, even if somebody were to hit the wood stand, the targets would still remain upright. It wouldn't even knock them down. You could, like, you know, hit the target if it's set up for a 22 or set up for a 50, it wouldn't matter.
You're very cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted.
No, I know.
So, Jennifer, do me a favor.
I have
Wave
something
the
that I need to do. I know. I was waiting for a pause. Prentice, hello. I am saying hello to you. I'm waving at you.
Hey, he's my friend.
You got your P-Winky shout out. He don't want a shout out from you. He wants a shout out from me.
Hey, he's my friend. I went to his wedding.
We all went to his wedding.
I know. I was in my truck on the way back from Kroger watching it on Facebook Live.
Oh, hey, Prentice.
All right, let's see. So Mo wants to know, are you familiar with the Magneto Speed T1000 hit indicator?
No.
Okay. Okay. So actually, I think I can answer this. So Mo, I bet you that it will work on there. However, the bullets go through these targets. So if you shoot where the Magneto Speed is, it's going to explode. So
yeah,
no,
it'll hit the Magneto.
Yeah, unfortunately, that will not work. It's a really cool device. They use it on steel targets, and it basically sticks onto the back of it, and it feels the vibration when you shoot the target.
Yeah.
And then it flashes a really, really bright light. So, you know, if you're shooting 1,200, 1,500 yards or a mile and a half, you know that you hit it if you can't really see the target move.
Got
Rennie wants to know hollow points versus full metal jacket. Which one's better for target durability?
Yeah, definitely Full Metal Jacket. Hollow points are going to cookie cut them a little more. I think the level they'll put up with from a hollow point is pretty impressive because, I mean, it's going to leave a hole. It won't really leave that much of a hole with FMJ. With a hollow point, it's going to kind of, whatever the shape of the hollow point is, you'll see that sort of like missing from the target. It's certainly, if you were to hit a 2x4 with a hollow point and then you were to hit our target, the hole left would be like a third of the size, which is kind of cool, but it's still a significant amount of damage, more than you get from Full Metal Jacket.
Let's see. I got some more live ones. Mo Anthony will be right back. There it is. Bethany wants to know how much did starter kits cost? What comes with them? Do you offer any deals or discounts on targets?
Solid. Man, like, what time is it? So a starter kit for us is, I mean, we have a bunch of different plate racks and stuff. But a starter kit for us would be the 6-inch knockdown target with its base, and it retails for $29.99. So you get basically your first, reactive target, or whatever for under $30. We run specials throughout the year. We have a special for you guys too. It's running already.
Yeah, so stick around for Discount Corner. And hear
exactly. I'm like, isn't that later?
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. Also, $20 is not the cheapest targets on the site. There's some for like $2.50.
Oh yeah, so, like our little, like our 2-inch targets, like we were trying the 22 targets, and we have like rifle that one. Yeah, so that guy's super cheap. It's under $2. But yeah, we have like our hang tough targets. The cheapest one is $250. I think it's $249. And the most expensive would be just over $50, and that's for like a 10-inch plate. So the range in there, the range of targets that you can get for, a good amount of money. Like we've got, I think, a $20 starter pack, and it's like 20 hang toughs for $19 or something like that. So you can actually, yeah, you can bundle pack like the hang tough targets. If you're on there, you can actually bundle them in like a 6-pack, a 10-pack, a 20-pack. So
I wish I had mine. Mine are at home because I have some of the little bitty. Oh yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so I don't know if everybody can see them, but like they're pretty thick, and like turn it sideways. They're pretty thick, and they're really cool. I like them.
Yeah, and like literally, we kind of stumbled across Newbold by accident at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
If any of you have seen Jennifer at SHOT Show, she's pretty much doing the same thing as that half marathon she ran a couple years back. And you're even at 6'2", I'm struggling to keep up with her, and I'm like, wait, those look cool.
Appointments.
Come back here.
Well, I'm little, so I'll dart through the crowd, and I'll be like, "Where are you at?" And he's back there, like, "I'm coming."
Yeah.
He's like, "Slow down." I'm like, "No, keep up."
I remember talking to you guys, and you're like, "Okay, we got a meeting. We got to be here. We got to be there." And Jennifer's like, "Wait a minute. How?" I think I handed you one, and you were like, "Wait, what?" Because you expect them to be so much heavier. You like put it in someone's hand, and they're like,
"Ooh.
What?"
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah. And
we were like, "I have an appointment, but we're coming back."
You're like, just be here in 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, because you gave like this epic spiel. And by the way, so I know, so right now, we're doing this whole coronavirus, everybody's locked at home thing. I can't make
Aaron go and get
or a hotel.
Sorry, Jen. I can't make Aaron go and get a whole bunch of targets, but if you want to see the targets, actually, let me post this link here in the comments.
Yeah. I feel bad. I'd be at the shop normally and have all this stuff accessible, but we're stuck here.
So I just posted a link in the comments on Facebook Live to see the video that we did at SHOT Show, and she goes through all the different targets so you can see them in person. It's a really good, really good spiel. But I've been literally meaning to buy some of those freaking hang tough since SHOT Show, and I keep procrastinating.
Those are cool. Yeah. And I didn't even mention earlier, we started making 3-gun targets because a lot of
3-gun's awesome.
Yeah, well, right. Do I need any more explanation than that? 3-gun's awesome. But we, in New Jersey, we have short ranges, short bays. There's not a whole lot of ranges that we have a lot of space. So it means developing rifle targets and shotgun targets that we can shoot at a closer range, let's say like inside of 20 to 25 yards. And so we have 3-gun targets that are specifically for that purpose. Basically, you're running a 3-gun match. You don't have a whole lot of space. Here they are,
You don't have to worry about getting shot with shrapnel.
Well, yeah.
I mean, sometimes you're sitting there and people are shooting and it's like, oh, ow.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a piece comes off and you get attacked.
Yeah. I remember one of the first Steel Challenge matches I was ever at. And I'm like talking to someone, the shooter's like probably 60 feet from me. And then like how far the target's from the shooter, right? And I'm like getting whacked in the neck. Like as I'm having a conversation, I'm like, this is insane, right? You do.
Very much so.
It happens all the time in Steel Challenge.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
I feel like the 22s are the worst, too. People choosing the 22 division or the 22 rifle division in Steel Challenge. Those plates aren't very far away, and they're usually set up to where, the ricochets will go down, but it's not all the time.
Right.
The case.
Well, like one of the things in testing, right, that we found out, because obviously we're doing slow-mo footage, right? We're doing high-speed footage of our targets, and then you want to compare that to what happens with steel, right, at high speed. And a lot of the times, like, we're angling our steel targets, right, so that it hits and it goes down, not realizing that ricochets and splatter happen 360 degrees. So that bullet hits here and there's splatter 360 degrees. So if the target's angled this way, it's coming this way too. You don't realize that till you see it, really like slowed down for you. We did a bunch of high speed footage and I cannot wait to get it all and actually get it edited so we can post it up of, 45s passing through, like 45 like quad cutters and things like passing through our targets. And it's amazing to see it like open up and go right through the target and seal, and there's nothing. The bullet doesn't change shape, it doesn't change speed, direction, anything. Nothing comes off of it. Copper jacket's totally intact, and then you see that versus a steel target and 360 degrees. Steel target is angled, and that ricochet is coming back off of it in a direction you couldn't have anticipated because you're thinking, I'm angling it so it hits down. It's not doing that. Coming back. It's unbelievable. So, and until we were able to actually like get her, and it's tough too, right? Because we want to shoot this indoors so we can control the lighting. And indoor ranges are like, you're not shooting steel in here. I don't care what it is. So, we're like a 22, please. And they're like, no.
They're like, no.
Yeah, but they'll let us do ours, so that's great. So, yeah,
it totally makes a bunch of sense for indoor ranges because I shot indoor nationals. Indoor matches are a lot of fun. A lot of fun. People are like, I'm going traveling all the way over there for an indoor match. But I don't remember. I think I shot 3 times that match. I don't remember any type of steel of any kind. There was moving paper targets and swingers and drop turners and stuff like that. But as for steel, there was 0 because you're in an indoor range and there's bays set up right next to each other.
Yeah. And a lot of ranges are
stages.
Willing to sacrifice their light fixtures, right?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I mean, they just make an unbelievable mess. So safety is one issue, right, for the other shooters and for you and whatever, but also like these ricochets will shoot out the light fixtures. We've seen it happen. It's crazy, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Happens in our range all the time. There goes a bulb, and it's
hey Anthony, of your indoor matches, how many of them have you gotten rained on?
0.
That's why they're so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about all the rain that we have.
Even
to
though obviously she's from she's in a Jersey area, but coming from South Florida to shoot a match in Massachusetts, it was like 23 degrees if I remember.
Yeah, that's miserable.
That's a little shaky. Like, talk about running to the car from the hotel exit door.
Oh yeah. Like, and we're like, wow, it's so warm. What do you mean?
23 was
Beautiful
like
day.
That's okay, because then when y'all come down to Georgia to shoot outdoor matches, y'all are all like, "Oh my God, I'm
Can't
dying."
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only
You
95.
can't hang. Yeah.
We're like,
We're-
"What? It's only 90." I mean, that's like
Yeah,
cool down here.
It is pretty interesting to shoot like a steel challenge match, like, and your hands are like absolutely just frozen. It's crazy. Like that. I mean, I'm totally fine like in November shooting like, you know, like rimfire stages, but I can't stand shooting like a 40 caliber when it's 25 degrees because it hurts your hands. I'm not gonna lie. Like starts to really become an issue when it gets colder.
Everything hurts more when it's cold.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about 312 gauge rounds in 2 days?
Oh gosh, we shot a shotgun only match that was like a bunch of slugs. Like it was fun, but it was cold. It was like 20
That's rough.
degrees. It was miserable. It was in January.
Yeah.
all right.
James, the target is still here. I'm eating crackers, just so you know.
He's not eating the targets.
I did not eat the target. It's still here.
What?
Dipping.
They're
dipping the
edible
target.
too?
They're edible.
No way.
Show
Alrighty.
how, so at SHOT Show you showed us really how they can be oriented different ways. So they can be hanging where they will swing like on a strap. So it's very reactive. Or you can have it like a plate rack where they bounce and come back up, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you have the option to do that. And now that we came out with a dueling tree bracket, you have the option to mount them vertically too, so they can swing back and forth that way also. So you've got a target that you can use like in a plate rack setup where you can knock down and they reset, or you take the whole plate rack and flip it upside down. It takes 20 seconds, and now you've got hanging targets that you don't have to reset. Or you mount them vertically now and you just knock them to each side. So the versatility of the system is my favorite part because
that's awesome because, you know, it's always fun to knock stuff down or dueling trees, but like knock stuff down would be fun. But then if you're on a public range and, you know, you can only go and set them up every 20 minutes or 30 minutes, that's no fun. So then you put it upside down for that and just watch them swing.
Exactly.
Well, and you even showed how, and I'm trying to remember, but you even showed how if you hit the edge, that it looks
it'll flip around.
Then if you hit a center mass hit, it's gonna react differently. So even looking at it, you can tell just by how it reacts where you actually hit, I thought that was really cool. It isn't like, oh, I hit it, but I don't know where. I might have been an edge hit. You know, you can really tell the difference because it kind of doesn't move as much if it's a center hit. If it's
you get a center hit and it swings perfectly like backwards. And you get the edge hits and it just starts to go like this and it looks like this revolving door, you know, situation. You hit the strap and all it does is kind of wiggle. We've been at matches before where we're calling hits on those for people and we're not calling them when they vibrate, and people are like, well, I'm hitting it, it's moving. We're like, you're hot, like you're not on the target. But it's cool when you get to know the movements of the target. You know exactly where you are on it.
It's very cool.
It's like in Steel Challenge or something like that. You hit the 2x4 that's holding that target, and you hit it. The steel fell. Hey, you keep moving on, baby. That's a hit. Let's go.
So when we run matches with our plate racks, if you hit the stand, we stop everything, and then you get a Sharpie, and you have to go sign the stand.
There you go.
I love it.
Because it used to, people used to cheat before we had the alpha brackets. If you whack the stand, all 6 targets would fall. And we started to realize that. So when we designed the alpha, we were really excited that we were like whacking the stand, whacking the brackets like a million times to see. And what happens is the way we designed it was so that it would absorb the shock. So if somebody were to hit the base of another target or the actual 2x4, all those targets remain standing. Or if you have, let's say, a plate rack that has like a really big target on it with really small targets, even if you hit the big one first and knock that over, it's not going to drop all the other targets. The stand is meant to withstand that impact, right? Absorb it so that your targets are left standing for you to hit, you to knock over.
Nice. All right. We got a discount corner here. It's, save you some money from some great companies who support the show. Jen, you usually start us off. What do you got?
Yep, Carbon Arms. You can get 10% off with carbonarms.us with the code TSM10 on shotgun shell caddies, extension tubes, ratchet belts, all the good stuff. And you can also get 10% off at Under Industries on jerseys, hoodies, the arm sleeves. They have all kinds of stuff. He's making masks now. He could make you a mask with your sponsors on it, I feel certain, if you wanted. He could make whatever. So check him out at Under Industries. And if you mention the Shooter's Mindset on Facebook Messenger to him, you'll get 10% off.
Dang. Greg, what do you got?
I have phone scope, probably one of the coolest long range inventions here recently. It's great for looking lit for the gram or training or just kind of practicing and watching how you're handling the gun. The code mindset10 in all caps will save you 10% off all phone scope products.
There you go. I got a couple on my end here. Taran Tactical Innovations, TSM10 save you 10% off. All accessories and parts does not count for getting your Gucci Glock all done up, John Wick style, or any Benelli's done up, or rifles done up, but it will count for all the parts and accessories. Tactical, TSM10, a lot of holster stuff and AR parts and accessories. Check them out, TSM10, 10% off. Aaron, any kind of discounts that you have, Newbold, anything off the top of the head on the fly?
Yeah, we did a code for you guys.
Yay!
So it's we had to, right? So it's TSM20 and it's 15% off the entire cart on anything, accessories, fleet racks, any of the starter kits, any of that stuff. And it's just good now. We went live this morning, so anytime we're good. Doesn't expire.
There you go. This just in on the group chat here.
Yeah, it's hot off the press.
Hot off the press here. People want to jump in here. Folks over at GSL Technologies, and there's a shop who stocks all their suppressors over in called Savannah River Cerakote. If you buy a GSL suppressor from them before the end of April, you get a free single color Cerakote job.
And they're located right here in Augusta, Georgia.
There you go. So single color Cerakote, get yourself a GSL can today. What else do we have here? Oh, the giveaway. We got a giveaway here. We gave it a little bit of a break. We've had the giveaways where we're doing like 2 a week every episode here. Recently we gave it a little bit of a week break, but the fine folks over at Hunter's HD Gold and Brian over there sent me this package, 3 weeks ago. So this is a set of Hunter's HD Gold. This is the gauges. So this is the frames that I wear. I know Jen and Greg use their Oakley frames. I really like these. I think they're one of the Gucciest frames they have, if you would use that terminology there. You guys can get those. We're going to give a free pair of Hunter's HD Gold. We'll figure that out, how to join. We'll probably post that tomorrow morning on the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page. It's probably like tag a couple friends, like Hunter's HD Gold, like us type of deal, and we'll do a random.org. And we'll announce the winner on next week's episode of the Shooter's Mindset 294. And there you go. There's a giveaway. Hunter's HD Gold. These are like $300 and something shooting eyewear. So,
but they are so freaking worth it.
Absolutely worth it. And I was like, $300. $300? No way. But once you wear them, you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see some tangs. All right.
Let's see.
What do you got? Some live?
Yeah, let me hit a couple lives real quick. Wayne wants to know if you guys ship to British Columbia, Canada, or if there's a dealer up there someplace.
We do ship up there, but we have a couple dealers up there too.
Awesome.
Yeah, if he we have a contact form on our website, and we'd be happy to either quote him or get him in touch with somebody that's like local that can get it for me.
So you guys don't sell direct? Is it just a dealer network deal, or you do sell?
No, we sell direct. We only have a couple of retailers up in Canada. You might know Fast Toys. They're great to work with. But we can direct quote, customers too. We only started working with dealers like last October. Actually, we were really like direct consumer all over the US, and now we've got like some really great dealers and retailers in Australia and Austria and Germany and Sweden and Netherlands, and I'm pretty lucky. So but we've only just signed 2 in Canada, and there's 1 in BC. But I'd be happy to get in contact with them.
Okay.
They don't stock everything, but they can get stuff up there.
Awesome. Eduardo wants to know, how are the targets with rangefinders at long distances? Like if you put a 10-inch plate at 550 yards or a 66% IPSC at 750, have you heard of any people having issues reading those with rangefinders?
No, they should be fine. It's we're changing up like some of our colors too to make them like more vibrant and stuff too. Our black and red targets, we're doing like a major blowout sale on those. Obviously, like black is not a super big color that sells. It's impossible to see, and red.
Can you spray paint over this material? So if you buy a bunch of black ones and just spray paint it red.
Yeah, you can. We did a shamrock shoot or whatever recently. We were like spray painting the clubs green. So yeah,
that's
awesome.
Hilarious.
Yeah, you can totally
Deal alert, buy the black ones.
Buy the black now because they're 30 off, and then just spray them. Yeah, yeah, green.
Yeah,
so
make green targets. I love green.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that's what I was going to say. So the reason for the red and black blowout sale is we're making room for new inventory. So the colors are going to be like fluorescent green, yellow, and orange.
Oh my God.
So when can I buy
don't tease me.
When can I buy the lime green ones to match my beautiful rifle?
I would have said June before the pandemic, and now I'm going to say I'll do my best, Greg.
Awesome. Speaking of pandemic, if I go, I've been trying to order these things since January, and I have the brain of a squirrel. If I go online and order some now, is there any delays or anything with that?
So we have a message up there that there are some delays. We were kind of trying to prepare customers that there might be issues. We manufacture everything ourselves. So it's not like we're waiting on supply chain, or anything like that. Everything's done right in-house. That said, we're in New Jersey and we're getting rocked pretty hard by this thing. Mm-hmm. So we're not able to really have, obviously, our full staff in the office or in the plant, right, all at once. So we're only shipping orders 3 days a week. Those days are really like Tuesday, Thursday, and I think we're doing Saturday too. So that shifts around a little bit, but it's the only time that we can really kind of like move people around to different stations so that, we're in compliance here with everything. That said, most people are getting their orders within 3 to 5 days.
Oh,
so
shoot.
We're doing pretty well. We are warning people like right there in the site, any target that you're looking at, and Greg, if you have it open, it will tell you what its processing time is. So it's either going to be a 3 to 5 day processing window with a 3 to 5 day ship window.
Hey, look, it says it right there.
7 days.
So nifty.
So we made sure that as soon as all this was going down, we wanted to be as clear as possible with people when they could expect these, because now that people are home and they're shooting on their home ranges, they're like, I want my targets now. So
that's awesome though, because some people, like, you might look and be like, well, I can get that one faster. Like sometimes knowledge, just knowing, like,
absolutely.
I don't care how long it takes. I just want you to tell me how long it takes. I don't want to order it and me think it's going to be a week and it be 2. If I know it's 2, I'm happy with 2.
Right. So we are flat out telling you on the website, if it's going to be 10 days, we're letting you know right away.
That's awesome.
No way. There are targets that you can absolutely order and you're going to get them a heck of a lot faster. And we've made that as clear as we possibly can on the website.
I ordered something from a website April 6th. All right. And I'll leave the website out, and it hasn't even been processed yet. Like they haven't even like looked at,
they haven't even tried.
It's like, it says, I track it. It says awaiting processing.
Yeah,
that's what it says. So 2 weeks.
I'll tell you, we have free economy shipping too, right? That you can choose. We're clear about the processing time on that one also. If you want free economy shipping, that's fine. It is going to take longer, but we're clear about the time on that also. But we had We've had a few customers like choose like second day air or something like that. And I've gotten calls from, which I advise people, like, don't bother choosing that, because UPS is flat out, they are not guaranteeing those times right now. They've made that clear to us and consumers, like, you can choose second day air, but we can't promise it'll be here in that time with everything that's going on. But I can tell you that our shipping department, if they see an order with a request for an expedited shipping, they are working double time to make sure that gets out as fast as possible. I got calls today and they were like, we've got orders here with next day air. What do we're gonna get these out today, right? You know, and we're like, okay, that doesn't mean that we have to speed up our processing time, but I respect that you're trying to. So we're doing our best to get them out as quickly as possible. We totally understand people are stuck at home, and if you have a home range, it's nice to have targets out there on it. So we're doing our best.
Oh, that would be so cool when I get my GSL suppressor for my 22 and these nice, quiet polymer targets. I might have an at-home range.
Yeah, right?
You might be making one.
Yeah. We got a bunch of... We got a bunch of lives. Some of them are going into another question, so I'll skip those. Mike Bell said, are they made in the USA? Yes, they are.
Are they? Yeah.
Are they? Right there in New Jersey.
Yep.
Randy wants to know if you make any in red dot red.
We do, and those are currently on sale, and they're about to be discontinued, so hop on there and get them quick.
And Mo said, oh, I'm stacking in the black with that TSM 15 discount.
Ooh. Someone's paying attention there. That's what I was thinking at.
That's a thinker.
Yeah, that's a thinker there. Spray paint.
Yeah, so all the red and black are on the clearance page. So if you're on our website and you're just looking at our regularly priced targets, they're only going to offer you probably orange and yellow. There's a little clearance tab on the bottom left, and all our red and black are basically dumped in that clearance tank right now. So everything you can get in there is like 25 to 30 off.
Bottom left. I mean, no, I'm on a show. I'm not shopping. Sorry.
I mean, what? We're live.
Yeah. Jen, I interrupted you earlier. I'm going to be quiet and let you talk now.
Oh, I was just moving on. And I was just going to ask, are there any limitations to the targets? Like high power rifles, open pistols? Is there any speed that you're like, do not shoot my target with it, you will kill it?
How about some shotgun too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you asked that. So slugs. We just recently, I think last year I would have said, don't shoot them with slugs, right? They're going to like explode or something, right?
This blew my mind. I'm just going to tell you right now, this blew my mind. Go ahead, tell the story.
So
mind blown.
We brought 42-inch poppers and 22-inch poppers to a 3-gun match. And we weren't necessarily anticipating using them, but we were like, we're going to test these out and see if we could throw them out there, right? In a stage or something like that. They are so much fun. You put them out there, you hit them, it leaves a hole. I mean, Jennifer saw it. The hole is, it's amazing, right? It's a teeny little hole. It knocks the target down so hard, it's like, flap, it really goes down. Like, you hit the target, you know where you hit the target.
But you can barely see light through this hole. Like, it's like, when she says there's a hole, there's not really a hole.
Yeah,
right.
It's maybe like a
there's like a mark. And I guess if you got a needle and thread, you could put the needle through it. But I was like, you're lying. You did not shoot this with a slug. And she's like, yes, we did.
We did. Yeah. And it depends. I mean, it depends how close you are, right? If we're shooting slugs like really close up or something like that, you're going to get like a little bit of a bigger hole. This was at 25 yards. It was so much fun. The damage was absolutely negligible. I mean, like, Jennifer's like, oh, it's nothing for us. Like, for Newbold, for us, we're like, oh, that's a giant hole, right? Because we're used to these little pinpricks, so anything larger than this, basically undetectable hole is too big for us, right? Because we're striving for the best possible technology. But really unbelievable. They really don't have limitations in that way. We had a guy call us from South Carolina and say that he was shooting our 8-inch knockdowns with an elephant gun. And he was like, yeah, I get like 500 shots on him. And we were like, good for you, man. Like, that's amazing. Like, I've never tested it with something like that myself. Yeah.
Is there a warranty? Like if I do shoot one out, let's say the elephant guy, he shot it out, it's over 500 rounds.
Yeah.
Right. Is there a replacement, or you just have to buy a new one, or what's the deal with that?
We're trying. I mean, obviously, we try to make the prices like as consumable as possible because we have no idea like what calibers you're shooting with, or hollow point. You could throw sticks of dynamite at them, I'm sure. But we are working on a new website. It's set to launch. It was set to launch before all of this. It was going to be out probably the end of next month. And with that, we're doing like a splatter-free guarantee and a couple of different guarantees on the target that'll come out then. I don't want to say that now. We're not like totally ready to release it. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I mean, this has been kind of a crazy year for us because this was really like a hobby business. It was something that we thought was a cool product. We thought that people would love. We brought it to SHOT Show and people went crazy for it. And so that's been really great for us. So with that came, okay, we need to like really do this up and like you're saying, like offer guarantees and, and kind of back our technology, right? So we're drafting those now and they'll be posted with the new site.
There we go. Newbold targets in competition. What kind of matches have been using your targets and how have they performed?
Yeah, I mean, so we use a lot of our poppers in IDPA matches. We use all of the targets in 3-gun matches. We have rifle targets, we have shotgun targets for birdshot, we have the poppers for slugs, and anything else on our website for pistol. The only limitation for matches with the targets would be that 223s are moving really fast and they're really small. So if you're inside of 100 yards, you're not going to knock over the target. It rips through the material so fast and leaves such a small pinhole that it doesn't transfer enough energy to knock the target over inside of 100 yards. So I would say like for matches, I wouldn't plan on using high power rifle inside of 100 yards with really any of them except for those small, close range rifle 3-gun targets. And that's it. But yeah, 3-gun and IDPA are really the ones. And then, like I always said, like IDPA Indoor Nationals, we submitted them, I think, like a few years in a row to try to get them in. And they're like, like every year we're like, maybe. So we had a guy who is one of our sponsored shooters, and he actually designed a match for them, and he made our ducks no shoots. And so they made it into the match that way. And it was awesome because NRA TV posted them and they were like, oh yeah, it's like the insane ducks or whatever. Like people could not shoot around these things, or like they were like accidentally nailing them.
Y'all have all kinds of like designs. Like when I was there, I'm like, oh, this is nice, the circle. And you're like, we have all of these over here. And I'm like, oh, like pick your animal. Like you're pissed at the squirrels for eating your furniture. There's probably a squirrel shaped target. You can get it.
There is.
Out.
There is.
So it's like one of everything. You have roosters and pigs and everything.
Yeah,
it's
and
so
we have diamonds and hearts and clubs and all that stuff. Oh, tombstones and whiskey bottles have become like big sellers. Prairie dogs this year. It's insane. I don't know if there's like a prairie dog issue going on like in the Northeast, but like we've sold more this year than any other year ever.
You should make coronavirus targets that have little spiky crown things coming off of it. And we could all go take green. Our aggression off
lime green,
and shoot them. And then it would make me feel better. Yeah.
Well, we still have the red, so we could do like a two-tone lime green.
Ooh,
red. Yeah. You know what? If I were to make it based on this suggestion, I have one employee who'd be super pissed off with me because he suggested this like 6 weeks ago, and I was like, I don't think about it.
So tell him that you've done some thinking on what he said.
Yeah.
And that you both want to make the target and give him one.
Right.
So Mo wants to know if they saw these at the Trigicon 3-man in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
Awesome. Boom. Good on the live.
Mike wants to know if people actually still shoot IDPA.
Oh, that's rough.
IDPA.
It cuts deep because I still play here and there.
But it's tough though, man. 3-gun is really like, I mean, people are going hard for 3-gun now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's either 3-gun or PRS. I feel like the PRS thing is like kind of taken over. That's the 3-gun thing was nuts. Maybe what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe more. 3
More
years
than
ago.
that,
It was
even
absolutely
like 5
insane.
years
5
ago,
years.
3-gun blew up. You're getting old when you start being like, yeah, that was like last year, and it was a decade ago. You're getting old. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because this show was pretty much nothing but 3-gunners because of how hot 3-gun was.
It was. I know.
Yeah.
So we just had consistent 3-gun this, 3-gun that. This guest who played 3-gun. So, yeah. Jeez,
Well, I
guess
like this desk. I just found a way to put my feet up. Oh, this is awesome.
You're really breaking that hotel room in.
I am. Well, I'm going to be here for like 2 weeks, so I got to get comfortable.
How's the bar there? A good bar at the hotel, man?
Bars are closed.
Everything is closed. Pool is closed. Gym is closed. Bar is closed. Everything is closed.
So you got a gym and a bar in the room now?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Any upcoming new products or matches or that Newbold will be involved in?
I mean, everything's canceled.
Yeah. That was a loaded question.
Yeah. But so like our Dueling Trees is brand new. Our website, I'm hoping to launch within the next 8 weeks, or we'll see. We're moving on it. It's been rough, right? Because all of the photography and video and commercials like were canceled. Like we were supposed to fly out to Phoenix and that was canceled, and so it's been rough. We had like pallets of targets like sitting on location, and just there they are, so everything's kind of like up in the air right now. But our Dueling Trees just came out like a week before SHOT Show, and so we're going with those, and those so far are really popular, especially for ranges now that are indoors and can finally offer like a fun reactive option, right? That you don't have to reset. So
they should totally do Dueling Trees at like 600 yards at PRS matches. Like there's the AG Cup, which is like the people that pay more to be able to do the kind of more elite, like they're going against the really, really good ones, going against the really, really good ones, and trying to come out with all this money at the end. And like we should get you with Tom Fuller and them, because that would be really cool to have like a Dueling Tree at 600 yards that's like whoever wins it, like I don't know, have a single elimination or something. Like
awesome.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
And easy to see with those green targets on there.
We should totally do something with that.
That'd be awesome.
We might have to talk after the show.
We'll talk.
I know somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You had to know somebody. Indoor Nationals is it's kind of that match you got to know some folks. Yeah. Like you might have the best product in the world and it makes sense and all that, but it's kind of like, okay, we'll think about it, because you probably it's like, you got to know that dude. And once you know that dude, you're in there, man. And I don't think them dudes that I knew that were in there are involved with Smith & Wesson anymore. But, man, I shot with some dudes that if you told him, he saw it, he liked it, bam, it was in the match.
Yeah. So. We got lucky, too. We, like, some great contacts at Smith & Wesson, and that was how we even managed to get, like, I think the Ducks in there at the time. And even as a no-shoot target on the stage. Right. And it's hard enough, right? But we are on their employee range too, which is really cool. So we get to talk to a lot of like folks who are employees at Smith & Wesson who are like, oh yeah, we saw your targets. They're on our employee range, or they're at our family range day or whatever. That's been pretty cool.
Nice. I don't think that match is no longer around anymore. No. And a lot of those folks at Smith & Wesson are no longer around anymore. I'm sure there's still some people there, but as far as people who ran that match and stuff like that, but
they're not.
Yeah, that's no longer a thing. Any more live, Greg, and then are we gonna wrap this one up? Or?
Let's see. Oh, Mo said they've done Dueling Trees at 200. That sounds awesome. I want to play.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is about all we've got.
Okay. We're gonna wrap this one up. I want you guys to check them out on social media. Also, to just type in Newbold Targets on the Facebook search bar, Instagram search bar, and you can pull them up. Surprising, I was like, you guys only have this amount of likes. I'm like, hold on.
I know.
Damn,
You know?
It's
savage.
so sad. It's so sad.
I'm like, so I was like, it's just a little odd, you know. It's for
Get
a
us some
company
love.
that has a good product.
I know.
Go check them out. Give them some Facebook love. Give them a like. Instagram. Give them a like over there. Check out their website. The website's being redone or about to be relaunched, I'll say. But you got the TSM discount code. You got some stuff on the kind of their bargain bin.
Yeah.
The black and the red ones here that we already figured out that we can spray paint them and they're just as good. All right.
Got them all in the cart already.
Yeah. All right.
I do actually. I'm
Get on and buy your targets now before Greg hits go add to cart.
And shipping still really fast.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a win-win. So check them out. And I think we can wind this one here down to shout outs. Jen, we'll start it off with you. What do you have?
All right. I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody because I don't have my list because I'm not at home. But shout out to Prime Ammunition and GSL Suppressors and Night Force Optics and Macmillan Stocks and Shooters of Augusta and Sharpshooters of Augusta and HD Gold.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really painful.
Under Industries, phone scope.
Under Phone Scope.
She's kind of a big deal. So yeah, I remember when I
think that's all.
People used to tell me, dude, you got too many sponsors. You're taking up too much time.
You had so many sponsors that you had to only do a third of them each week.
Yeah,
so I don't want to hear it. I've never been as bad as you ever.
It was not. It was pretty nuts. But now I have 2. So we gave them all to Jen, or Jen got them all herself, essentially. Greg, what do you have? Man?
I have Shooters and Sharpshooters of Augusta. I think Buddy was watching tonight because they're one of those places they're not allowed to have steel, so they're looking at some of these awesome things for out there. PDC Custom, if you like lime green, you could get the most beautiful rifle chassis known to man. They also have normal human colors available as well. NDZ Performance also makes cool green stuff. You can have a really sweet zombie green Gucci Glock. Phone Scope, Shooter's World Propellant. They're still not having a powder shortage. It's still out there. They still have some on the shelves at Shooters of Augusta. Hunter's HD Gold. It's kind of like Superman vision for your eyes. If you've not tried them out, they're at all these major matches. Check them out. Vortec, because the only thing people do in quarantine is either drink or clean. Buy some cool stuff, clean your rifle. GSL suppressors for if you feel like being nice to the people shooting next to you. And then just shout outs to Curtis Custom, Smart Precision Rifles, Trigger Tech, and PDC Customs for this beauty right here.
Nice.
She's so pretty.
Aaron, any shout outs on your end?
Yeah. Maybe. I should have made a list.
Mine are going to be pretty short and sweet. I'm telling you, these guys are getting nuts with
They're
it.
they got some serious
yeah.
content.
Yeah.
It's just because of my looks is why I have
the sponsors, baby. Woo!
Good luck. No, I don't have
she
anything.
totally laughed at that.
That's because it was a joke.
I mean, it's late.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to. We don't have any crazy fancy companies really that we want to shout out. But we had the coolest people. We had 2 photographers, couple Shirley and Larry in Phoenix, and another couple, Jeremy and Jill in Wisconsin. No joke, offer to take our pallets that were delivered on site in these cities that we're not allowed to travel to and take them out to their home range and do some lifestyle photography for us. And I know they're watching, and I think that that's awesome. And they are crushing it for us, and they didn't have to do it. And we really, really so appreciate them having to meet up and get all this stuff and move it and deliver it. I don't know if he's going to kill me for this, but a lot of the stuff was stored in John Korea's active self-protection John Correa's garage, and he had to drive 6 hours round trip to deliver it to one of the photographers. He 1000% didn't have to do that. I was like willing to send a truck. I'm like, we'll do whatever you need. And he's like, no, I'll get it in the back of my car and bring it over there. And that's crazy. And I can't believe how lucky we are to be connected with people that are that awesome.
Yeah.
And then I think my final shout out needs to go to like my family, because there's such an amazing, this business is incredible. And I got this amazing opportunity to like work with all of them, and how much fun that is. I'm so lucky to be able to work with like my parents and, you know, my uncle. And it's so cool. My husband, who deserves a shout out, because my 5-year-old son sleptwalked into the room while we were talking, and my husband dove at him and smuggled him out.
That's
so
hilarious. He
yeah,
could have
I'm like,
gone.
he was legit sleepwalking through the living room, and I'm like, this is about to be a thing. And my husband's like, intercept.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so they're mine. Thanks, guys. And thanks a bunch.
I got one more live from Mike. He wants to know if the stiletto targets, the ram, turkey, pig, and chicken are to scale for NRA competitions.
Yeah, so we used to have 2 different sizes. If you check the specs out on each of those product pages, it'll tell you the exact specs. Because I can't remember off the top of my head if they're 1/5 or what size they are, and I don't want to have the wrong information here. But but on the product page, there are specs under every single one of those, the turkey, pig, chicken, and ram, and it'll spec out the exact size for you, so you know exactly where to place them.
There you go. There you go. Some shout outs on my end here. I think I froze up at a bad time, but if you're watching this on the YouTube side of things, right below the video, yellow subscribe button, hit that. Every Tuesday at 9, new episode of The Shooter's Mindset featuring another great guest. Folks over at Tandem Cross for all your rimfire needs, really good folks over there. Email me, theshootersmindset@gmail.com. Any questions, guest suggestions, whatever you want to talk to me, say hello, that's cool. The Shooter's Mindset at gmail.com. Definitely thanks to Erin for spending some 2 hours of her time here on episode 293 of The Shooter's Mindset. Appreciate that.
Oh,
and
thank you so much.
Yeah, that'll do it. Shout out to the folks over at GSL Technologies, keep you civilized with their suppressors. That'll do it for episode 293. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.